Today would have been Mom's birthday, so naturally we're missing her a lot today. I know many of you miss her as well and miss not only her great advice on knitting, but on life and everything else. She was our wise owl around here, not just when it came to knitting, and often our voice of reason. So today I thought we'd remember some of what we call mom-isms. The first one, admire often and frequently. Seems like a easy advice for knitting, but she was serious about this. Admire often and frequently. I found myself admiring often and frequently on a project yesterday because often as you're admiring, you realize there's something's gone wrong. So that's why often and frequently. So take that one to heart. It will help you out, especially discovering little drop stitches and mistakes and whatnot. The next one that she would say often was enjoy. Knitting and crochet should not be a chore. It's an activity and you should enjoy it. Think of it as a process to new things to discover and learn. Don't let anybody else intimidate you. This isn't rocket science. You can do it. It should be fun. So take that to heart. You need to enjoy this and not try to compare yourself against others. This is for your enjoyment. One of my other favorites, she would say, is don't fret over unfinished projects. I know a lot of you guys think you have to finish everything. She was a staunch believer that you did not. It's the process. It's not the product that motivates us. Each project, completed or not, presents new challenges and learning opportunities. And there's no rule at all that you have to finish every single thing that you start. Sometimes she would say, you got what you needed out of it. You learned something. Maybe you learned, I hate this stitch, or I don't like this pattern. Move on, and it's okay. She also had a lot of personal advice. I know one of my favorite things she would say to me quite often in dealing with my dad, who was a mess, she'd say, you know what? If something happens to your dad and I remarry, I'm hungry. And I think she meant it. She had had enough. They were married for 50 years, and that's just, how you stay married for 50 years. Try to keep your humor about the situation sometimes. And I'll leave you with one of my favorite ones that she would tell me often that I think is very timely for what we're going through now. She would frequently say, don't worry. Just stop worrying. She says, most of the things that you spend your time worrying about never come to pass. Plus, worrying doesn't change the situation. Spend your time focused on other things. And I think about how she would feel about our current situation. I don't know, she'd be worried sick. She was worried about things that went around, about diseases. In fact, she almost died from the swine flu. And the swine flu really took quite a toll on her health. And so we were always very careful with flu shots and whatnot. So I know she would be worried sick. She'd be having a hard time, following her own advice. But yet I think we, need to focus on the now. That's what we can do, what we're doing right in this moment. And I hope that you can find your little bit of happiness in the now today. And I know many of you probably have your own memories of mom, your own mom-isms. If you have any things like that you would like to share, please do so in the comments. We'd love to see them.